I just wanted to ask, so, by university, you mean, for example, we have existing syllabi and, subjects that all schools study, and it's like a standard for everyone. Everyone follows the same books, the same history, the same science, mathematics. It's very basic and it's all over. Everyone follows. But you guys are trying to incorporate both of that. You're trying to take indigenous information, like stuff that they learn from nature and modern science as well. Or how are you building this syllabus, this education curriculum for them?
Well, in Colombia, you have the possibility of building indigenous autonomous universities, because it's a state that has like 84 different ethnic groups, people with their own languages. Is a very, very pluricultural nation. And so there's the possibility of developing your own way of thinking. You don't have to adhere to these syllabus, as you call them, these same school books. So that's the challenge now. It is a bit of a prototype that we're developing, more or less, and that is actually our common shared research that we will be conducting over the next 3 years, right? To figure out how the knowledge, first of all, what knowledge is worthwhile producing, what knowledge is relevant for a life in the territories, which is not at all a question that the universities in the cities would take into consideration. So they educate young people, they give them an educational baggage that is fairly useless once they get back to the territory. So that is a problem that we need to overcome. And so what is the knowledge that needs producing? That will have to be assessed through a kind of a survey that we start to make. What are the needs in the different areas? And what does that mean in terms of an educational program that we can set up? And then there are 100 other ways of thinking about it, because knowledge is not produced in classrooms, knowledge is produced in the territory. We learn with and through the territory. So it's a completely different, it's not just a little bit of a different culture, it's really landing on a different planet. You have to rethink all these different ingredients that go into creating an institutional, a kind of an educational institution of that, on that level, right? It's not for kids only, it's really for the entire population.
Yeah, perhaps we can also talk a little bit about the context of this place as a way to understand why the university kind of became a logical step in a long-lasting struggle for autonomy in this area. So I'm talking about a very complex area in the southwest of Colombia. And well, as you know, Colombia is undergoing the implementation of a newly signed peace agreement, well, let's say 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and has been meeting a lot of difficult challenges to implement this peace agreement. So this territory is laden with violence. That's very important, and the indigenous communities are in the midst of that. And also we have this constitution that grants rights to these communities and understands and recognizes their autonomy. So as part of this idea of dwelling in this territory in the midst of extractive projects, Ursula was talking about development, and kind of they need to develop a different way of dwelling there and create all these different alliances with national actors and international actors to leverage this project that is not only about education, it is about inhabiting a place. It is about connecting things that are not connected because of violence, because of extractivism. And so education, it's a very important component of that. because it's a transformative tool for that purpose, to assert indigenous collective rights in these territories. And this is and I want to emphasize, this is a co-production project. This is something about different actors coming together to create this long-lasting initiative because of the initiative of the indigenous people creating these alliances. And we are part of this co-production. So this is not our project. This is something that we are part of, and that is led by the indigenous communities themselves. And of course, we're meeting different challenges along the way. This is part of the whole process. A lot of learning opportunities ahead. And we have been thinking about this with other actors for some time now. And Ursula has been a very important leader of these thinking conversations. And we can talk about different aspects of the project and the complexity of it. But I just want to emphasize these 2 points. So this is something that is happening in Southern Colombia in the midst of a lot of difficult, challenging problems. And this project is about education, but it's more than that. It is also about learning to strengthen the autonomy and the cultural autonomy of these communities, and asserting their ways of thinking, their ways of doing, and exactly against development. That's something, this is a post-development project, if you will, in that sense.